Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, David here, and welcome back to another video. I was about to say what I always say. I'm excited to be here. Not so much, I'll be honest, because, well, the Nintendo Direct just wrapped up for September 2025, and Fire Emblem looks amazing. Jack Bros, if you missed the news, is coming out through NSO if you want to buy a Virtual Boy accessory, which I'll be honest, Jack Bros isn't worth that, but if you want to check it out, it's cool, it's there, it's a novelty. But of course, Persona 3 Reload was the only other Atlus thing that showed up in a sizzle reel, but demo out today. I played the game. I played the demo, immediately downloaded it after the Nintendo Direct. I recorded some gameplay, so everything that you'll see starting in a few seconds on screen was recorded from Nintendo Switch 2 docked. I have good news, I have bad news. Check it out for yourself if you want. The progress will carry over to the main game if you decide to buy it. It's out now, at least in the eShop in Canada. So, how is it? Is it worth it? Well, before even playing the game, before even playing it on Nintendo Switch 2, Persona 3 Reload is releasing at $60. It was $70 when it released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox last year, but it's still $60, and now it's about $20, $30 on other platforms. So it's already double the price than other platforms, which makes it a little bit of a hard sell. It doesn't come with the DLC, so again, it's $60, but you're not getting any type of candy for being a late buyer of Persona 3 Reload or a double dipper. If you're like myself, I am the second target audience, I would say. First target audience for the sport would be people who have not played it, who own a Switch. Second target audience would be huge Atlus fans who are also huge Nintendo and Switch 2 fans. That is me. And it's hard to be excited for that game. No physical release. Well, there's a game key card version, which is not really a physical version. No DLC included. That's tough. Well, the bad news that I want to report, as you're seeing starting now on screen, the game runs at 30 frames per second. So when I made my everything we know so far video about the game, I found on the official Nintendo website for Europe, if I'm not mistaken, or UK, that the game was going to run at 60 frames, 4K docked. Well, that was actually a mistake from the official Nintendo site because the game clearly runs at 30 frames per second. That being said, if you don't mind the 30 frames per second for a turn-based RPG, I honestly, my opinion is it's all about opinion. If you care, that's fine. If you don't care, that's also fine. It looks better at 60, that's for sure. It's more smooth at 60, but it's a turn-based RPG. You don't need that precision like you would need in a Souls-like, for example, or Elden Ring. But it's a bummer because that is a not as good of a version because it runs at 60 on all other platforms, including Series S. So that is a huge bummer, and I really do think that the Switch 2 could handle it because visually speaking, Reload on Switch 2 looks identical to other platforms. It looks absolutely stunning. Just look at the visuals, whether you're like in exploration, in 3D environments, moving around, or in a cutscene, it is a very, 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 very gorgeous game. It is gorgeous. So if you want a hybrid portable experience, I don't see why you wouldn't buy it on Switch 2. Worst case scenario, wait for a sale. It looks great. It's from what I've played, which is not a lot to be honest. It's stable. It runs fine. I tried to make it lag when I first entered the school and make it frame drop. It seems to be very stable. I don't have any tool to help me to count frames, but it seems to be extremely stable to my eye, a newbie's eye. I can't notice any type of frame drops. I can tell that it runs at 30, especially outside of combat. Like when you move around school with everything going around, it really shows. But visually speaking, man, oh man, that Switch 2 is powerful. And I tried it like portable. It's gorgeous. It is very gorgeous on that screen. 30 frames per second, no matter whether you play it docked or handheld. I very much think it's locked at 30 because I think it's stable. It doesn't move. It doesn't fluctuate, at least again, to my eyes, which I'm not good at all to notice any type of frame rate. So just to summarize the whole thing, experience playing it on Switch 2, the only thing to say is 30 frames. It's not 60. Other than that, it's stable. Loading times, I purposefully left them in my edit here of this video so you guys can see how it runs and plays and see the loading times, how long they are. Very quick. Like you move around the stairs in to thy dorm, you enter, you exit very fast. Like loading times are definitely not an issue here. Again, handheld and dock. I tried both. So that's not a problem at all. Visually speaking, totally fine. It sounds good. It's Persona 3 Reload. It is a fantastic game. It is, in my opinion, the definitive version of Persona 3. If you want to get into Persona, you own a Switch 2, you have other games that you can play, but Reload is a good bet. My recommendation would be wait before buying Reload. Buy P4 Golden, buy Persona 5 Royal for super cheap, play that, and then once you're done with P5R at 120 hours of game time, Reload's probably going to be half off on Switch 2. So that is my recommendation. If you don't mind the 30 frames, if you've never played it, at 60, is it worth it? It's 10,000% worth it. I paid 70 for that experience, but at 60 frames, non-portable on my PS5, and I was definitely satisfied with my purchase. So at the end of the day, it's all you. If you have multiple systems, well, for PS5, you're not going to be able to take that shit on the bus. But it runs at 60 when you're at home to play it at home. So it all depends on how you want to play that game, because at the end of the day, it's the Persona 3 experience, and it is a good experience. So you're still looking at some of my gameplay here on screen. I'm going to leave the gameplay here for you guys to check it out a little bit before the video wraps up. So I hope you enjoyed this little preview here for Persona 3 Reload on Switch 2. Again, unfortunately, a hard sell. It is very much a bummer because I'm looking forward to stuff like Metaphor ReFantazio, which again is 60 frames on other platforms, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's at 30, if it's locked at 30 on Switch 2, because that seems to be how they want to handle things here with the Switch 2. So hopefully they optimize it some more to help it run at 60 on other systems. But to me, this is just, I don't want to say laziness, it's a development choice by ATLUS to just make it 30, because we've seen games like Cyberpunk, for example, which looks way better and is a way more demanding game, run at a stable 40 frames per second on Switch. So yeah, again, just a bummer. I know we're going to see more impressive games runs at 60 on the platform, so it's very much a choice that for them to put it at 30, and that's a bummer. Same thing for P5R on Switch. Like, it runs great at 30. I can kind of understand why it's 30 on Switch 1 and not 60 like on PS5. But P3 Reload, does it run at 60 on PS4? No, it's not. So, I obviously the Switch 2 is more powerful than a PS4, but still, on PS4, it's 30 frames. So that's pretty much the experience that you're getting here on Switch 2, but you can make it portable. Good game, too expensive. DLC should have been included. At 60, DLC included, even if it's 30 frames, with a real physical version, we'll make it work. But for now, it's a hard sell. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you liked it, a thumbs up helps. Otherwise, have a good weekend. Bye.
Shadows!
Seize the moment, they destroy the nation. Round slow motion, give me motivation.
There you